This is Micah, by the way. I'm switching you.
Shabbat Achim Gam Yachad Hine Ma Tov U'Manayim Shabbat Achim Gam Yachad.
We're on page 10. Page 10.
Hine Ma Tov U'Manayim Shabbat Achim Gam Yachad Hine Ma Tov U'Manayim Shabbat Achim Gam Yachad Hine Ma Tov U'Manayim Shabbat Achim Gam Yachad Hine Ma Tov U'Manayim Shabbat Achim Gam Yachad
Hine Ma Tov U'Manayim Shabbat Achim Gam Yachad Hine Ma Tov U'Manayim Shabbat Achim Gam Yachad. Shabbat Shalom. Those words mean how good it is to be here together. Good to come in from a little rain outside and to end our week together, to enter into the holy time of Shabbat. It is wonderful this Shabbat to be celebrating Eliza Ehrlichman, who will be called to the Torah as a bat mitzvah tomorrow morning. Mazel tov to your family who are here, and whatever brings you out tonight, we're glad you're here and part of our Temple Beth David community and Minyan community of prayers. Welcome to those joining us from home this evening, and we hope you'll add your voice in song and prayer as we celebrate together. We're going to continue on page 24 as we welcome in the Shabbat Messengers of Peace, page 24. This is a good time to just take a deep breath, leave the week behind, and welcome in those messengers of peace.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachi Asharet, Malachi Elyonim, Melech Malachi Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Mi Melech Malachi Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu Mi Melech Malachi Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Baruch Orchem Shalom Malachi Shalom Malachi Elyon Mi Melech Malachi Hamlachim Kadosh Baruch Hu Mi Melech Malachi Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Mi Melech Malachi Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Baruch Hu Nil Shalom Malachi Shalom Malachi Elyon Mi Melech Malachi Hamlachim Kadosh Baruch Hu Mi Melech Malachi Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Mi Melech Malachi Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Tzedchem Shalom Malachi Shalom Malachi Elyon Mi Melech Malachi Hamlachim Kadosh Baruch Hu Mi Melech Malachi Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Mi Melech Malachi Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
And let's turn back now to page 2 as we prepare to bring in the light of Shabbat. It is an honor to invite members of Eliza's family to bless our Shabbat candles this evening. We're going to invite Eliza's grandmother, Robin Matloff, and Eliza's aunt, Robin Matloff, but two different people, along with cousins Haley and
Shabbat.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu Lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you. And let's join together on the bottom of page 9. You can read with me. We offer thanks, O God, for this Shabbat which unites us in faith and hope, for Shabbat holiness which inspires sacred living, for Shabbat memories glowing even in darkness, for Shabbat peace born of friendship and love. We offer thanks and blessing, O God. And we'll continue on page 20 as we welcome the Shabbat bride with Lecha Dodi. We'll join in verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. On that last verse, if you're able, I'll invite you to rise and face the doors to bring in Shabbat. And I believe this is a melody. It's been a while since we've sung this.
Yeah, it's like pre-pandemic. So if anyone remembers that, that's okay. It actually, I think it's been popular for about 20, 25 years. It hails from Argentina and our Jewish brothers and sisters there. Yalla la 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 lecha dodi, yalla la 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 likrat kala. Yalalai Pnei Shabbat, Pnei Shabbat Nekabela. Shamor v'zachor, v'dibur echad, Yishmi'anu el hamiuchad, Adonai echad, Ushmo echad, V'shemu tiferet v'litilah. Yalalai, yalalai l'chadodi, yalalai likrat halah, yalalai likrat Shabbat, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat, lechu v'necha, Yihi mekor haberacha, merosh mikedem nesucha, sof maseh Shabbat Chilah. Yalalai, yalalai l'chadodi, yalalai likrat halah, yalalai Pnei Shabbat, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Itoreri, Ivoreh, Umiori, Uri, Shir Daberi, Kevod Adonai, Alayich niglah, Yalalai l'chadodi, Yalalai likrat halah, Yalalai Pnei Shabbat, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Oi v'shalom, Ateret v'ala, Gam b'simcha, Uv'sola, Toch emunei, Am segula, Oi chala, Oi chala, Yalalai, yalalai l'chadodi, Yalalai likrat halah, Yalalai Pnei Shabbat, Pnei Shabbat nekabela.
We'll remain standing and turn to page 26 for Chatzi Kaddish, which will lead us into our call to worship. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uv'yomechon, uv'chayedecho beit Yisrael, bagala, bagala, ובזמן קריב, ויאמרו אמן. יהי שמירה במבורך, לעולם עולם מעמיה. יתברך, יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי דקודשה בריחו, לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דמירן בעלמא, ויאמרו אמן. Page 28.
Yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai. Yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai yai lai lai lai. Yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai.
Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam ha'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam ha'ed. Let's join together in the English of Ma'ariv Aravim, our blessing for creation, on page 30. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzivaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on the evening. Baruch atah Adonai, HaMa'ariv Aravim. And we can continue together on the bottom of page 33. Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol, all these things your Torah gives to us, and the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works and the living language that gives it form? Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. As you are seated, we're going to invite Eliza to join us on the bima to lead us in Ve'ahavta on page 36. These words from Torah are preparation for Eliza to chant from our Torah scroll tomorrow. There you
Adonai Elohecha, v'chol levavcha uv'chol nafshecha, uv'chol me'odecha, v'hayu hadvarim ha'eleh asher Anohim mitzadecha hayom alevavecha v'shitatam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'vetecha u'levtecha v'derech u'shokrecha u'v'kumecha u'kshartam leot al yodecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha u'tavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha leman tizkaru ve'asitem et kol mitzvotai ve'am kedoshim le'olechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeitem me'eretz Mitzrayim le'od lechem le'elehim ani Adonai Elohechem.
You're going to have to tell me about your bracelets after this. Ever since past President Dan Weller mentioned that his favorite reading in the Siddur is on the top of page 39. Whenever I see him here, we just have to read that together. So top of page 39, words that will lead us into our Song of the Sea. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. Page 40.
Yai lai lai la lai la 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 lai yai lai lai la lai la 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 lai yai lai lai la lai la 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 lai yai la lai lai la 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 Mi kamocha ba'elim Adonai Mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh Torah tehilot sefele Torah tehilot sefele Balechutecha ra'u banecha Bokei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam Ve'elianu ve'ameru Ve'elianu ve'ameru Adonai imloch Le'olam va'ed Adonai imloch Le'olam va'ed Lai 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 la lai la 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 lai 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 la la lai la 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 lai 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 la lai la 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 lai lai la lai 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 lai
V'nemar ki fada Adonai et Yaakov ugalo miyad chazak mimenu Baruch atah Adonai Ga'al Yisrael. We'll continue on page 42 with our prayer for peaceful evenings, our prayer that asks God to spread God's Sukkot Shalom, God's shelter of peace over us, extending all the way to Jerusalem. And I know many of us have Israel in our hearts and minds as we are praying for values to come forth and peace to reign in the land. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom v'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom v'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim.
Ushmor tzeitenu uvoenu
lechaim u'shalom
me'ata ve'ad olam.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom v'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom v'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim. Baruch atah Adonai haporei sukat shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. Continue on page 44 with Vishamru as we celebrate the gift of Shabbat each week.
Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש.
I invite you to rise in body or in spirit on page 46 as we enter the tefillah, the central prayer of our service. We'll begin together in the Hebrew and then take some time to offer the prayers from our hearts.
Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagid teilatecha.
Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora El Elyon Gomer Chasadim Tovim V'Konei HaKol V'Zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imahot
ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע. משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מחכה חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים. צומח נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה. ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. I invite you to continue with the words on the pages or take a moment for your own private prayers, and you may be seated when you're ready. Come together for our prayer for peace on page 60. Shalom Rahava Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha
Kasim leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Kasim leolam. V'tov beinecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה ישלומך. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Kasim leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Kasim leolam. Kasim leolam. Kasim leolam. We will add a prayer for health and healing, which you can find on page 253, our Misha Berach prayers. We take this moment in our service to pray for loved ones who are ill at this time and those who care for them as well. We are especially thinking of Cullen Monroe, Enrico Mascaro, Benjamin Horowitz, Bradley Dichter, Mateo Goldman, Toby Weiner, Esya Rushavskaya, Eileen Arnone, Jean Sands, Tom Fiorino, Carolyn Weil, Stephen Driscoll, Jerry Spingarn, Beth Gottlieb, Kirby Druffel, Joseph Sands, Samantha Weiner, Ethel Sharanow, Rhea Rebecca, Ida Kublin, Sam Valeka, Peter Lawrence, Sarah Bat David Viyosefia, Bob Holman, Mark Albion, Nancy, daughter of Pauline, Herb Kupferschmidt. If there are other names you are thinking of, you may share them out loud or in your hearts.
Misha Berach Avotenu Vekor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misha Berach Imotenu Vekor HaBracha Lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. So the time leading up to Pesach can be a very busy time for clergy, and the Shabbat before Pesach is supposed to be a big sermon. So
I actually know colleagues who thought to check in with ChatGPT to see what might be available for the Shabbat before Passover. Believe it or not, I've heard from colleagues you can actually find a very meaningful sermon. But instead, I thought it would be more meaningful to ask Rabbi Micah to teach us tonight.
Shabbat Shalom. As Rabbi Karen mentioned, it is Shabbat Hagadol, the great Shabbat, which is the Shabbat before our redemption of Pesach, and actually not Yom Kippur, not Kol Nidre or the morning of Yom Kippur, but this Shabbat, Shabbat Hagadol, is supposed to be the big sermon, the longest sermon of the year. Are you ready? No, I'm not going to do that to you, but I could, because it's in the tradition, but I'm not. In addition to it being Shabbat Hagadol, it also coincides with opening Shabbat of baseball, right? And so I was thinking about that as well, and the fact that my second favorite team is the Boston Red Sox, but the Los Angeles Dodgers have my heart and have had it ever since I was a little kid. Now, there's something you need to know about going to a baseball game in Los Angeles like I used to do with my grandparents, which is fans arrive by the third inning, probably because there is traffic going all the way back to West LA or wherever you're coming from. So you get there in the third, and you leave by the seventh inning so that you miss that same traffic. So I remember games where it would be like the seventh inning and my grandparents would be like, well, it's time to go. I'm like, okay. And inevitably, we'd put on the game on the radio and we'd miss a comeback or an exciting moment or a memory. Think about the Passover Seder. And sometimes we Jews leave the Passover Seder in the proverbial seventh inning. What I mean by that is we get through the first part and we get to dinner and we say, well, we better get on the freeway. We better head out. So I wanted to take a few moments tonight to share with you why I think the last 3 innings of the Seder, if you will, after dinner can be some of the best parts of the Seder and something to hold on to. The first piece is Elijah, the prophet. Dinner's over, but wait, there's more. There's 2 cups of wine, and of course, that special guest who comes to visit. And it's really a moment of mystery, a moment of suspense as we send a member of our Seder to open the door for Elijah, and we invite that great prophet in who stands up in his own day to idolatry, who speaks truth to power, and who then is said to go to heaven in a fiery chariot, who doesn't die, and who actually goes on to wander the earth, appearing to us when we least expect it, heralding the prospect of redemption. So Jewish tradition says that Elijah visits us when possibility and hope are most full, such as when we welcome a child into the covenant. On Saturday evening, as 3 stars come out, as we wonder if, as Shabbat ends, the week won't start, but that world to come that will continue, that taste of the world to come we have on Shabbat, and of course, on the Seder night as we go forth from slavery to freedom. And Jewish tradition also imagines Elijah as the beggar in the street, the addict who is ridiculed, the person who is homeless in our midst. And we see Elijah in those places every day, visiting us, wondering if we're ready to participate in the redemption of another. Let all who are hungry come and eat. Next, or in the 8th inning, as you will, we have Hallel, songs of praise. Seder gives us time for a good old-fashioned sing-along. As Rabbi Nachman of Bratslav teaches, when one hears a song and sings a song with presence around the table, sadness is driven away. Only joy remains. And so the truth is that on Seder night, we've got no place we need to be. We're right where we're supposed to be, with the people who are most important to us. So we can resist getting up, because in that resistance of getting up, we show that we're not slaves, that we're truly free. So I want to invite you this Seder to sing the songs in the Haggadah, Who Knows One, Chad Gadya, or sing your favorite camp songs, maybe from Pembroke, around the table, your songs of freedom, or put on that CD that you like to sing to and just enjoy. And finally, with the ninth inning, we get one more cup of wine. In this fourth cup, we conclude the Seder and we declare next year in Jerusalem. And of course, it's kind of odd that we still do that. For thousands of years, Jews saying next year in Jerusalem was really this yearning that one day we would have access to Jerusalem. And it would seem that there's no more work to do, right? We have Jerusalem. And yet, as Rabbi Karen alluded to, the dream is yet to be realized. As we see the most anti-democratic government in the history of the state of Israel taking steps against pluralism, against minorities in the state, against the very notion of separation of powers within government. So yes, there's work to do, and our Israeli brothers and sisters are inviting us to join them in that work. When Mati Friedman, Daniel Gordis, and Yossi Klein Halevi, commentators and journalists, write an open letter to all of us saying the following: the North American Jewish community has steadfastly come to the aid of Israel at moments of crisis. Israel belongs, first of all, to all its citizens. They have the final word. But Israel also matters to the entire Jewish people. When an Israeli government strays beyond what your commitments to liberal democracy can abide, you have both the right and the responsibility to speak up. And they go on to say that when someone you love is in need or in crisis, you don't go away, you go towards them. So what pride I know I felt seeing Israelis across the political spectrum taking their Zionism into their hands and into the streets. And we can join them as well with our Zionism in a statement of love and support for the Jewish state. And we can do that when we say next year in Jerusalem with urgency, whether that's going to visit Israel, maybe even joining some our brothers and sisters in the street, or giving tzedakah to the Israel Movement for Progressive Judaism who fight for religious pluralism, or the Israel Religious Action Center, the Reform Movement Social Action Wing in Israel, Women of the Wall who speak out for women's religious freedoms, or the New Israel Fund that fights every day for democracy. These are ways that we can say next year in Jerusalem. So Rabbi Karen and I want to wish you a sweet Pesach. We want to invite you not to leave the game too early. Maybe you'll get Elijah's autograph. Stick around for Sweet Caroline. Remember Jerusalem, and maybe this year we will win. Maybe we'll all win a little piece of redemption, a full heart, a sense of purpose, our people and our world a little closer to redemption. Shabbat Shalom, Chag Sameach.
Asher Koach. So Rabbi Micah is going to be following up and asking you after the Seder how far you got. There are lots of ways to still prepare for Passover. Tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., we're going to have our Tot Shabbat and matzah making, so early. followed by our lay-led minyan at 9:30, also at 9 o'clock, sorry, and of course 10:30 here in our sanctuary. We will celebrate with Eliza and her family, Mazel Tov, as Eliza will chant Torah and teach us words of Torah and lead us in prayer. Saturday evening, Women's Seder, and again, continuing to get ready for Passover. And Shorashim this Sunday morning. Please look at your weekly shofar email for lots of other programming coming up. And I will just also mention the Shabbat during Passover. So next Friday night and Shabbat morning, we will have a Shabbat evening service as well as Shabbat morning community service here in our sanctuary with Torah reading, some extra Passover prayers and singing. So everyone is welcome. We are going to move into our concluding prayers for the Shabbat. Just want to also thank our ushers and greeters this evening, Lori Friedman, Michelle Arroyo, Jackie Foyer. Am I missing anyone else? So we always need volunteers every week. Thank you. Please sign up if you haven't, if you are able to help us. We're going to turn now to page 282 for Aleinu L'Shabeach. If you're able, please rise.
Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon hakol, lateit gedula liotzer breshit, shelo asanu ki goyei ha'aratzot, velo samanu כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו echad. We remain standing and turn now to page 294 as we take this moment in our service to remember loved ones who are no longer with us. And for those of you observing recent death or yahrzeit, also just a reminder that you're not alone. We're glad that you're here in community to support you and hold you up. We are especially remembering these loved ones who have passed away in recent weeks for the period of Shloshim. Melvin Baylett, brother of Sandy Grassfield, brother-in-law of Harvey Grassfield, and uncle of Jim Grassfield and Ruth Seltzer. Roseanne Pector Cohen, mother of Debbie Spingarn, mother-in-law of Jerry Spingarn, and grandmother of Hannah and Caroline. And Bernard Margolis, uncle of David and Debbie Wayne, great-uncle of Sam. We are also remembering these loved ones whose yahrzeit, whose anniversary of death occur this week. Ellen Berg Cadeau, Esther Berman, Evelyn Bernstein, Michael Brody, Marvin Harris, Edward Kaminsky, Shirley Kaplan Soroka, Linda Gervitz, Alan Marcus, Lynn Cypress, Saul Stoloff, Irene Sarah Tarr, Paul Van Dam, and Esta Watsky. If there are others you are remembering, you may share their names with us. Again, we continue on page 294 as we bless the source of all life. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'yamad divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei,
B'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol beit Yisrael ba'gala uvizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shmei rabba mevorach leolam ulalmei almaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei dekudsha brichu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be a blessing. Eliza, we're going to call you up once more for tonight to lead us in the blessing of Kiddush. And again, there will be some oneg food and drink for everyone following our service. Thank you to the Ehrlichman family for sponsoring the oneg this evening in honor of your daughter.
Baruch atah Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pari hagafen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu b'shabbat kitcha b'avrav uvratzon hihilanu zikaron l'maaseh v'reishit ki uyam tehila l'mikrei kodesh zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim kivanu v'charta v'atanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kadshecha ve'ava uvratzon hilchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat.
Amen. L'chaim. And we are going to invite anyone who has not yet become B'nai Mitzvah. So that's definitely some of Eliza's cousins, your sister Lily, Haley Merstein, anyone else who hasn't. So come on over to the challah. So this means you get the first bite of challah. But Eliza, you're going to lead us. So come on over. All right. Wow.
That's great.
Hold it.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, motzi lechem min haaretz.
Shabbat Shalom. All right, we're going to end our service with a prayer, one more prayer for peace. May God, who makes peace above, bring peace here amongst all of us.
Oseh shalom imromav yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Oseh shalom shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Oseh shalom imromav u'yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen.
Shabbat Shalom.